Valerie Letourneau, UFC 193, November 14th. Huge event in Australia. You're the co-main event for that event. 2 women's fights, 1 main eventing, also co-main eventing. What does this event mean to you?
Well, I'm very excited to be part of it, and I always wanted to fight in Australia also, so all that together, you know, fighting for the title, fighting in Australia for the biggest card of the history. I think we're going to beat the record there. It's 70,000, you know, places there, and I think UFC is making a big step with that event. It's the first event in Melbourne also, so going there with 2 women's title fight as a main and co-main event is a big step.
Yeah, this is huge because obviously featuring the women like this, is there a little more pressure on you or no? Same amount of pressure no matter when the fight is?
It doesn't, first, like, it's never been a motivation for me to be known, to be famous, to be whatever. I'm doing my sport because I love it. When I started doing this sport, there was nothing going on for women. I mean, I've been doing martial art for 16 years, so it started really moving for us 2 years ago. So 14 years of my career was nothing. I really was doing that for free, for no money. A lot of people making fun of us, and I mean, that was good. Nothing going on our side. So I really did it my whole life for myself, and I keep pushing for myself because this is like something I've been working for my whole life. I'm 32 years old, and I don't have many years in front of me. I just want to give my everything, you know. So very exciting to be part of that, and I know after the fight I think I'm going to realize even more what I just, you know, been through and how lucky I am to be there, but my motivation is to perform on that fight.
How important is it not only to fight for a title, but also be a part of this history?
Yeah, that's what I meant. For me, you know, seeing the sports growing on the women's side, and I feel like it took so long before we got recognized. It went from nothing to everything. It was like from one year to another, it just totally changed into, you know, since
it exploded quickly.
It just exploded so quickly. But it was so empty before, so it's just, you know, very exciting for me to have the chance to taste that, because many times in my life I could have given up. I could have just, especially I have a 12-year-old daughter, so many times, I mean, I was struggling with money. I was working like crazy trying to balance my family life with work, with training. So I feel so lucky that I didn't give up, and I get to finally taste, you know, the best of my 16 years of martial art now.
What is that like? You said you have a 12-year-old daughter. What does she think when mom gets in there and goes to battle like that?
Well, Gabby, so her name is Gabrielle. Gabrielle, she really grew up with me in that sport. She understands completely what's going on. I was doing martial art before I got pregnant. So even her as a baby, she learned pretty quick that she could talk to me in between the round. When I was doing pads, you know, she was playing around in the ring. She had her toys and everything. And she literally grew up at TriStar. TriStar is one of the, you know, most recognized gym in the world also. So seeing GSP, David Loiseau, all these guys fighting, and just also seeing the coaches talking to us saying like, Valerie, you gotta do that, or oh my God, this is terrible, why are you dropping your hands like that? But that makes her understand the game. This is a sport, and she knows what I'm trying to do when I go there. She doesn't think it's something personal, and I became friends with most of the girls I fought in the past, so she knows that it's really nothing personal. It's just a sport. So that's, you know, that makes it easier for me. I don't need to explain that part to her.
Does she train at all, even in martial arts or anything?
She did so many, because I really want her to find a passion for something. That's all matters to me. I found the passion for the sport only at 15, and I really had a hard time as a kid. Like, I was always being kicked out of school, being in juvenile center, foster home, because I was out of control. I needed to move, and I just didn't know where to place that energy. So my daughter is like me, but you know, very young. I introduced her to gymnastics, escrime, judo, Muay Thai. There's nothing I haven't tried, but the only thing right now she likes is horseback riding. I don't mind what she likes. I just want her to get into something.
As long as she's happy and she's pleasant, she's good with it and all, exactly. That's the main thing.
Yeah, but she's not into martial art.
Have you been horseback riding?
Yeah, but she's a lot better than me. She's just so comfortable there. I'm in my zone at the gym. She's in her zone at that place.
What does this event, back to the event, what does this event tell you about women now competing in the octagon? It took so long. I mean, you've been doing it for 12 years, 14 years.
Now is I remember, some of my first few fights, I was reading the forums. I stopped doing that because that was so negative. I mean, there's some seriously miserable people on this planet. Like, it's unbelievable. And people that usually take the time to write in these things are the negative one. Because the positive one, they're not going to waste their time, saying stuff like that. So, but I remember, I feel like I had the world against me, the world against women. They were making fun of us so bad. And finally, we got so much respect. Of course, we have Ronda. She makes such an impressive fight. And when she's so dominant, that just shut everybody's mouth. You can't talk against it. It's just like, wow. And it's not just Ronda. Women put on a show. They put on a show. How many girls won fight of the night? And so I feel like that pressure is a lot less on our shoulder. Like, I was always stepping there with something to prove. I'm gonna prove them we can do it. No, we don't need to prove it anyway. I don't need to prove that I'm tough anymore. I've been to such a tough fight. I know I'm tough, and people know I'm tough. I can take a punch, and we're fighting for real. So this is what I like. We just can let it flow and stop trying to prove a point that we can do it.
That's the thing. Now do you think it's finally getting to that point of it where it becomes a stage and it's like, okay, look, now we're showing everybody, hey, look, we could do this. We're entertaining, we're fighters, we're strong, we're tough. Now do you think it's getting past that where it's just like, hey, it's just a fight. It's not just a women's fight.
Exactly, it's not just a women's fight.
It's a fight.
And I don't like to talk too much about the women's fight because exactly, it's just a fight. Guys, girls, you want the best performance no matter if it's girl or guys or we love the same thing. It's the same sport and we are all there for the same reason. So I love that feeling that I feel like this is something I don't even think about anymore. It's not just we're gonna prove we can do it. No need to prove we can do it. We can do it. Okay.
Did you ever think women though would get to this point in your time, that it would get to this level where it would be as big as it is?
Not for my generation. Not for my generation. This is why I feel so blessed. I'm so lucky. Like really, 2 years ago has been a turning point for me. When I turned 30, this is when I moved to American Top Team, and I was thinking, man, if it's not moving, I don't know how much I can handle this. I love my sport. I don't know what I would do without doing this. That's the only thing I like. That's my only piece. I'm here. I'm happy in the gym, but. You gotta do something for a living and getting older. So I'm lucky that I got to taste that, and no, I wasn't thinking that I would be a part of my generation, and even not just for my sport. Most of the sport, women's are not recognized. It's just MMA. I've turned not just our sport recognition for women. I feel like it gives recognition for women in every sport. So.
Why do you think fans have embraced the women's fights?
Because it's so exciting. So exciting. But the one thing I think that why we make it so exciting, I think women, especially my generation, the few left girls like Alexis Davis, Sarah Kaufman, even Ronda, she's been fighting for, even she's not into MMA for so long, but she's been doing a sport for so long. And we struggle so much. We've been mocked so much. We have so much to prove that this is why we bring it all to the fight. This is just the result of what we've been through in the gym, in our everyday, everybody was trying to discourage us, to make fun of us. So when we stepped there, I feel like we had so much more to prove, and I think that's just the result of all those situations we've been through before.
MMA, is this something that you always wanted to do?
When I started, there was no MMA, honestly. I didn't even know what it was. It just came because when I started doing sport, like I said, at 15, I was in a juvenile center and they kind of forced me to start doing a sport. That was part of the program that I had to go there. So for a year and a half, being forced to do sport that I didn't really like, but when I got out of there, they say, if you want to get out of here, you need to choose one sport. So I decided to do kickboxing. And I just fell in love with it. I love it so much. I was going there every day, and after a month, I wanted to try to fight for real. And the same school was teaching jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu was completely new to, I mean, nobody knew what was jiu-jitsu. That was seriously new for everyone. UFC was just starting to, and went through. GSP also was teaching at that place. GSP was a blue belt, so everybody was saying he's a future champion. But like, how many times do you hear that? Everybody's a future champion, but that was real for him.
But he was, yeah, exactly.
He was but yeah, that was before I got pregnant of my daughter. But been through starting doing jiu-jitsu, and I really love it. Start competing here and there, and when I was fighting in kickboxing, I thought, man, that would be nice if I can do submission also. And when I was fighting in jiu-jitsu, I thought it would be nice if I can punch them also. So this is how I ended up into mixed martial art, because this is what is mixed martial art. That's exactly the mix of everything. So when you practice so many martial art, I was just doing jiu-jitsu and kickboxing, but for someone doing wrestling, karate, Muay Thai, this is just the perfect world for us. We can put all that in the same place and just let it flow.
And you have been. It's amazing. The thing is, when you're growing up like that, how much of a factor, how much has that turned your life around? Because you mentioned about being in juvenile hall and all. So it gave you something, it gave you a goal, it gave you some motivation. For you, was high school not the thing for you? Was it just, I don't want to do this and all? What was it like growing up then for you?
Well, I've been diagnosed with ADHD, I don't want to say it in English.
No, I understand, sure.
HADD, let's say in French.
The attention deficit disorder,
yeah,
right? Okay.
With hyperactivity. My daughter is also. I started, you know.
But we know more about it now than we did back then.
Exactly. It's more going through that process with my daughter, with psychologists, psychiatrists, and everything. I was looking at it and I'm like, oh my God, that would have helped me so much as a kid, just to know that, you know, because this is exactly what was going on with me. And I was feeling so different. I was feeling like I could never live in that structure, that kind of. I honestly very, very young. I feel like I could never go through life. I don't know how I would keep living in that system. I couldn't fit anywhere. Even if I was smart, I mean, I was doing good at school with very minimum of attention, because I was getting maybe 5 minutes of the class. I was thinking about something else. Oh, go back to the class. And that, I couldn't just stand. I was so aggressive. Asked me to sit for hours. I was looking at everybody. I wanted to kill everybody in my class. And even when I was really young, you would tell me a little thing and I was ready to punch you in the face. That was me. A lot of anger, a lot of not many words to express myself. I was kind of shy, but at the same time, like, you know, as soon as you would pushing my limit, I would explode right away. So I've been fighting into this. Nothing was ever working. From a school to another, I was fighting with my friend all the time, because it was like a little thing would make me snap right away. My mom, you know, I was just out of control. My mother, she was 16 when she had me, so imagine that. She had 4 kids, 26, we were 4, and I was pretty hard to handle. So all that to say, if I could have found a sport or something, that would have helped me a lot. And to have something that understand why I was feeling so different, that would probably help me a lot. But I feel like really martial arts really saved me. When I started doing it, because I had a lot of aggressivity. I needed to, you know, move. I needed to spend that energy, that anger. Now I just feel in peace here. I'm not coming here I'm just having fun. I'm smiling. I'm not doing it for the same reason. But honestly, just stop training for me for 1 week, and I feel like I'm going in a deep depression. I don't know. This is just a part of my life that gotta keep, you know, always moving. And
you got to keep doing this. And the thing is too, like, whenever comes a time where you're not going to fight anymore, is it something then that you want to be involved, whether it be training or other aspects of this profession?
I'm very conscious that I'm always constantly gonna have to be in moving. I'm never gonna fit in an office job or doing the same thing every day. I always need new challenge. And I don't know if it's going to be in my sport, but there's a lot of things that I love in life that I'm kind of not doing right now, because I don't have time, because I want to give my 100%, especially where I'm at right now. I have no time for anything else with my daughter and everything. So, but there's no doubt I'm going to stay busy. I'm going to get, you know, involved in as many things as I can. I love animals, I love kids. Like I say, I've been in the juvenile center very young. I would love to work with younger kids with the same problem as I was.
And I was going to touch on that because I was going to say to you, since you've been through that, and look at yourself. I mean, you should look at yourself and how proud you should be about yourself from where you were to now, even not just being on this huge card, this huge fight, but just personally and what you've accomplished in your life. You could help others. You could help others that are younger and don't know what this is, or they're going through things. And is that something then you are looking at doing?
Absolutely. I just feel like I would love, it's been a while I'm thinking about it, but I know, even I had a little business in Canada before I moved here, and my sport is so demanding. There's nothing, if I want to succeed where I'm at, I need to give 100% on this. But I already have my plan. I know I have 2-3 years to go, and my body's not gonna. I've been doing that for a long time, so I start to feel it. But I'm gonna get the best of what I can from where I am now. I mean, I got the cream of everything I've been working for right now. So I'm gonna enjoy it, and after that, there's a lot of things that I'm thinking to do and work on.
Being from Canada, I wanted to ask you this. Were you ever into pro wrestling? Have you ever watched it or even thought about trying it? It's something different.
I just can't. My motivation on my sport is the challenge of the fight. You don't know what the other person's gonna do, and I think, you know, at least once a week someone asks me, "Is that real? Is it fake? Are you kidding me? You think you're gonna?" You know, it just cannot cross my mind that people can think it's fake. It's so real. Like there's nothing fake in that. We get punched in the face for real, and you don't know what's gonna happen, you know, before the fight. But I really
you enjoy that aspect of it as far as the physical competition, a one-on-one battle. You don't know who's gonna win.
Exactly.
Rather than the entertainment value of let's put a show on per se.
But even it's not just the pro wrestling. If I'm watching a movie and it's too much of a pow explosion, and I'm like, oh, this is unreal. I just cannot. I'm not too much of a, I don't know how to say that in English, but it has to feel real.
It has to be real. It has to be authentic, organic for you.
Exactly, yeah.
To enjoy that. This big event's coming up, UFC 193. It's in Australia. Have you ever been to Australia?
I've been for the media. But that's like a dream. As a kid, I always wanted, I love animals. Every kid wants to see Skippy, but the kangaroo doesn't look like Skippy. Let me tell you something. I saw pictures and they don't look like Skippy, okay? But
was that disappointing?
Oh my God, these are scary. My friend Hector just showed me some pictures. They more look like a big beef, bunch of muscle, and I'm gonna stay away from that. But I mean, now as a kid, it's something I always wanted to go to Australia. And when after my last fight in Saskatoon, I was flying with my coach and we were talking about it. I said, man, I really would love to fight in Australia. It's been a long time. This is something I had in mind. He says, well, you never know. November can make sense. It's kind of close, but I would have never thought that I would be fighting there, but not just fighting there, in the biggest show, biggest event for the title. How can I ask for better? It's just many dreams come true.
Will your daughter be able to go?
I don't want her to go because first school, I'm leaving for 3 weeks for that fight. Just flying, you waste 2 days, and this is so too much important. She understands what I'm doing, but she's really sick of all the media, all the camera, all the time it's taking. And it's the third camp in a row for her that she see, Mommy is not at home. Everything is about my training. We want to do something in a weekend. I have no time. I'm completely dead. If I have 15 minutes to lie down, I just lie down and I rest. So it's seriously boring for her, and I know she's not going to enjoy it. And it's going to stress me also.
Sure it will, because you know she's not going to be enjoying that and all. So.
I'd rather, honestly, we're going to have some time after this fight. It's gonna, Christmas is going to come pretty quick, and I'd rather travel with her, have a nice trip, than have a stressful trip to Australia for her.
Last thing for you, what does family then think? Because you talked about your mom being young, having the children. Mm-hmm. What does any of the family members, or even your brothers or sisters, think about you being involved in this, and then just how it's become a huge thing now?
They're very proud of me. It's just, this is almost everybody. I would say most of my friends and family never understood why I was doing that, because like I say, for until 2 years ago, that was just a totally crazy idea, especially knowing that I can do so many things. I can work in anything. Seriously, you can put me in every kind of stuff you want, I'm gonna make it work. But why? Why, Valerie, you pushing so hard on that? It's not painful, it's painful. But now, of course, they're so happy for me. Being, all this work and finally got to the point I want. It's just it's a good example, I think.
Do you have social media for fans? Is that something that you have?
Yes, I'm very easy to find under Valerie Letourneau. This is my my Instagram name, Valerie Letourneau, Facebook name, and my Twitter, I think, is Val. Oh no, I don't remember.
But there's Twitter. I'll find it.
Yeah,
I'll find it
yeah.
then. There is Twitter for you for fans to
Trouble
go in.
MMA or Val Trouble MMA. I'm sorry, I just forgot.
Not at all,
much.
please.
I'm not very active on Twitter, but I try my best with social media. Yeah.
How did you get the nickname Trouble then?
Oh my! Because of my ADHD. Absolutely. This is something that when I was going to school, I was always getting in trouble. Even when my friends, I would drive my car, run out of fuel without. This is happening like. Not anymore, I'm getting better, like once a week. Every time I was getting in the gym, I would miss or one end wrap, or my mouthpiece, or a glove. So after a very short time, my coach caused me trouble and called my daughter Trouble Quarter because she was so hyperactive in the gym. She's like, this is Trouble Quarter. And all my friends agree with that name. Yeah.
As long as you're happy with the name, good for you. Thank you so much. Go get them out there and just keep doing well.
Thank you.